What if Rocky 5 was good? And I'm not just saying a little bit good, Mr. Joe Sixpack. What if it was even better than Rocky 4? All right. I got my coffee here. I woke up a little bit early just to record this. I mean, we all know what Rocky 5 ended up being. Tommy Gunn, whatever his name was, it was like Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone was still in his prime. And you threw it away, Rocky. You threw it away. What a mistake. You gave your trunks to a loser. Like, it's just in real life. Oh my God. And like the main fight just ended up being him fighting like some black pimp. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was good to see him get knocked out. Like, he's on the hood of the car. It's like, you never walk in this town again. but man, okay. Let me just do. Like, I love like Rocky 1 through 4. Masterpieces. For the longest time, I actually thought that Rocky won in the first movie, and then I had to rewatch it years later, and I was like, oh my God! Like, I'm glad I didn't put money down on that. He fucking lost because they did the count. No. Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out in the first movie. It was the second one where Apollo Creed, they hit each other like. How rare is that? But they knock each other down, and like the refs were like, he's like 1, 2, 3, and then Rocky gets up first, and then Apollo falls back down. Oh, it was like Apollo was that close. I mean, those movies were so good, they could have had Rocky lose a second time, and then it's like, oh, we gotta need it. In the third movie, it would have been Apollo's rematch. There's so many. I mean, the lore of Rocky it's on par with the original Star Wars. Like, it's just so like deep. Like, sometimes my mind just like imagines, well, what if? Okay, before I get to the what if scenario, what if Rocky 5 was good? What if in the fourth movie? Okay, this is how you make the fourth movie a little bit. You increase the stakes a little bit higher. I know the pride of America, his nation's on the line here. It's like the East versus West. We've got to bring the wall down. Cold War. I think that Apollo gets knocked out. He's in the hospital. He gets to the hospital. And so in the entire film, Apollo Creed is not dead yet. Apollo's in the hospital with his family, and before Rocky goes off to the Soviet Union, he goes in there. He's got his glasses on, his leather jacket, his fedora, whatever, and he's like, Apollo, whatever happens over there, I know I'm not alone. He's gripping Apollo's hand, and you can see the IV dripping. Apollo just looked completely unconscious, sedated. He's like, I know I'm not alone. And then he flies over to the Soviet Union, and everything would basically play out how it did in the 4, because it's a perfect movie. It's hard. This is just a minor improvement. Like, you get your ice cream sundae, and you're just like, I'm ready just to gobble this down. And then the person's like, wait, Mr. Joe Sixpack, and they put like a Marangiano, what do they call it, a cherry on top, and then you're like, whoa, it's already perfect, But But or you find the girl of your dreams, and you find the girl of your dreams online, and you can only see her face, and you finally meet her like a year after a long distance relationship. You finally meet her, and she's got fucking double D's, and you're just like, I loved her anyways, but god damn. It'll be like riding a roller coaster every night. All right, distracting myself. And so Rocky goes over there, handles his business, right? And although when he runs to the top of the mountain during the training, he should have they missed an opportunity to have a little cash grab, advertisement. He could have got to the top of the mountain and yelled out, "Ricola!" and then, and then it flashes on the screen. But no, like Jet 2 Holiday, and then so he handles his business. He defeats Drago. And Drago's like, oh, he's like fucking Frankenstein's monster at this point. And he flies all the way back to America. And he's like, where is he? He's like, he busts through the hospital door. And doctor's like, you can't go in there. You can't go in there. Rocky's like, out of my way. And he's all beat up and bruised. And he finds Apollo. And all the doctors are around him. And then like right when he walks in, the doctor's like, he takes his hat off and throws it on the ground. He's like, and then like Rocky comes in, he's like, you hear the beep, and Rocky's like, and then he grabs Apollo's hand and he's like, don't you go. And then the camera zooms on Apollo's eyes and you see like a tear form and then drop. Oh! Anyways, so basically I would have kept Apollo, I would have just dangled that Apollo carrot in front of the audience because they're like, well, there's, after, it's going to be a happy ending, right? It's going to be a happy ending. No, this is Empire Strikes Back, bitch. So, this ain't A New Hope. It ain't no award ceremony. Luke didn't only not get the girl, it was a sister. This is the sad ending. And so Apollo dies right at the end of the movie. And then you could roll right into the fifth movie. So here's my idea for the fifth movie. Basically, I don't want to stall telling you the premise. Yeah, I posted some videos already that give a little hint at what I would have loved to see in Rocky 5. So Rocky's already conquered Russia, Eastern Europe. He brought down the Berlin Wall himself. But has he brought Christianity to the Middle East? Has he conquered the Muslims? Putting that out there. Now, you don't have to say that in the movie, because a lot of the Joe Sixpacks in the audience would be like, I'm uncomfortable with this. I mean, I'm getting replaced, but I'm uncomfortable with it. All right, so basically, there's a new, let's say it's Iran. You could do Saudi Arabia, but I think Iran, because that was also going on during the 80s and 90s, the Shah of Iran, all the crap going on. Hostage situation. Let's say this occurred. The hostages have been, they've been taken hostage. The embassy has been made like a prison. They're trying to hold out. Like the guards are like, we're running low on ammunition. Let's say the embassy is in lockdown and Iran's ready to just kill everyone in there or take them all hostages. And Rambo, or not Rambo, that's our next video. Rocky is like, yo, Adrian, you see this? Hey, Paulie. And Paulie's just like eating fucking box of M&Ms. He's like, yeah, Rocky. Like, whatever the fuck. He's in every movie. He's a piece of shit. Hey, Paulie, you see what's going on over there? And then he's like, Rocky, you gotta stay in your lane. You're not good at politicking. You're not there. And Rocky's like, he's already lost his friend, and he was thinking about retiring. He was gonna stop fighting. That's what he does. He announces his retirement. This is the beginning of the movie, and then the Shah of Iran, he makes an announcement at the UN, like, Iran is kicking the West out of our country, are you infidels? And then next to him, and he's like, and we're gonna start with the U.S. Embassy in Tehran or whatever. And then, like, while he's giving the Shah of Iran giving a speech, this big tank, this dude with a big turban, I don't know if they wear turbans, but in this movie they are. He walks up next to him, like, he's like, and then the Shah of Iran introduces, and we are the new face of Muslim excellence. And then, like, let's say the Olympics is also coming up. And in this universe, they're not, okay. But then, like, so he introduces his fighter right in the middle of the UN. It's such a comic book villain bullshit. And then, like, let's say Rocky's looking at TV, he throws a remote. he just, and then Rocky just sees that fighter on the news camera, and he's just like, and then it's almost like in the Iranian fighter, kind of the camera comes to the side, and he's like, he looks straight at, it's like, is he looking straight at Rocky through the TV? Fuck. And Rocky just like, he flinches, he has fear. For a moment, he had fear, and he hadn't had that since Drago. Maybe even Clubber Lang. Maybe when he has that tinge of fear, he knows that he has to fight this person. He has to challenge him. And so, as the movie progresses, Iran is banned from the Olympics. And so, but then the fighters on like, they have these videos coming from Iran, and the fighters, the Shah of Iran, the fighter never talks. He never talks. He just stands there. And so the Shah of Iran is talking. He's kind of acting like his, let's say it's not the Shah himself. It's like Iranians' public relations, this Middle Eastern guy. And he's giving these press conferences and giving updates on the hostage situation in the embassy that they've taken control over. And so the whole time, the U.S. Embassy in Iran is like, they're on lockdown, and they're running low on food, and they're being starved out, kind of like a siege. So that's on Rocky's mind as well. But the Iranian politicians, like, we want, and then they're like, we'll let our fighters speak, our peak physique, the peak, Muslim representation of our faith embodied, and he will speak for the first time to the Western world. And then, like, the guy walks up, he's like this, Rocky. And then, like, Rocky's like, fuck, he's calling me out. That's the one word he says. He just says, Rocky. And then, so there's a match that's like the as soon as that happens, you can hear a helicopter landing in his yard, and then, like, these politicians. This gets a little bit Rambo-ish, but this like general walks in. He's like under the helicopter blades. He's holding his hat, and he's like, he takes his hat off, and he's like, I mean, he keeps his hat on. He's a top 4-star general. He's like, Rocky, America, Mr. President, the president needs you. Just straight up. And so Rocky gets suited up, and they land in and then like through a whole bunch of other events, he meets the president, and there's a lot of cool scenes where he's at the White House and blah blah blah. But he's got to, just like in Rocky IV, he has to the stipulations of this fight, and this fight basically, here's the stakes. If he loses the fight, Iran will kill everyone in the U.S. Embassy, and the West will be forced out of their nation for the next 1,000 millennia. Right or wrong, that's what's at stake, because the Shah doesn't believe that the West can defeat their national pride, their hero. And so, and they're like, you know, but then he has to basically, for Rocky to get into Iran, he has to come alone. He can't have anybody, no trainers. They're basically gonna like airdrop him into Iran, and he becomes a prisoner. Like that's the stipulations. Like Rocky will be our prisoner, and shall he win, his prize is his life and the life of his comrades. Shall he lose, he'll be dragged into the middle of Tehran Square and drawn and quartered, like set ablaze. Those are some fucking stakes, bro. And so Adrian's like, Rocky, you can't go. Like this is, and then Rocky's like, get off of me, Adrian. And Paulie's like, he's like, you know, Mick, Mick, they'd be proud of you. And he can't even look in his eyes because he's so like, he has so much pride in Rocky. Rocky is just like, and then Rocky goes off, gets airdropped straight into Iran, and fucking with nothing but a backpack with his boxing gloves and trunks. And he gets there immediately. They're like, he lands, and immediately he's arrested and like placed in like handcuffs. And God, this fucking movie would be so fucking killer, man. Because how can you top Drago? Well, and so basically he gets like handcuffed and like led. There's this huge stairway towards like the Shah of Iran's palace. So he's like in handcuffs. Oh, he's like this. Yeah, he's pulled like a slave. He's pulled. All he's got is his bag, and he looks up, and then this is like classic. This is like Aladdin or something. Like the guards hit him on the back of the knees, and then he falls down. He's like on his knees, and then out comes the main fighter, like the Iron Sheik. I know that's a wrestler. Like he comes out, bam, right across the face, and then like Rocky's just like knocks out like a fucking tooth, and then Rocky's like looks right back at him, and then for a second, I just call him the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, he almost flinches because he sees the eye of the tiger in the eyes. No, let's say he hits Rocky's face, and then Rocky's face doesn't move. It's just like iron. And then the Iron, this is kind of getting anime-ish, but bear with me. And the Iron Sheik's like, you know. And then they have the amazing training montages where Rocky has to be handcuffed at all times to like another guard or something. Like they could have a long chain, but even when he's like boxing, his leg is shackled because he's a prisoner of war. So that you want to up the stakes. And then during the montage, so he's chained to like he begins to like he gets beaten by this guy he's chained with. But as the montage goes on, the Iranian guard that's forced to watch him, they kind of start to become friends. Where near the end of the montage, like he just picks up his guard on the back of his shoulders and then hikes to the top of some Iranian mountain in bumfuck Egypt or whatever. And then like he's on top of the mountain. He's like, yeah. And then the guard's like, whoa, with his rifle. He's like, whoa. And then they have, that montage is key. It's gotta be like 5 to 6 minutes of just training. You know, like he's gotta be stronger than he's ever been before. Because even with, I mean, he barely beat Drago in Rocky IV. That was, I like to imagine that these movies were real events. If that was real, I mean, he just barely, I mean, if he slipped on the ring, Drago would have just drilled him into the floor. Man, yeah, like you could have this awesome montage, but he's got these guards that are, I think he did have guards in Rocky IV, but they weren't like, they didn't have him at gunpoint. They were just following him. They were just like the KGB. Like they're just kind of observing, making sure the government knows where he's at all times. But this one, he is a prisoner of war, and he agreed to that. So the stakes are life and death. The stakes have to be high because we're still milking the death of Apollo because he hasn't lost anyone in this movie. But I mean, that was a huge death. Apollo had been in the first 4 movies, so. I mean, Star Wars milked the death of Ben Kenobi for fucking 10 movies. We can do that with Apollo, all right? Don't even let me get into the Creed movies. Fucking trash. Hot, steaming trash. So yeah, they have the fight, and it's just like, you know, it could be very similar to Rocky IV. You have all the political officials there. But before Rocky goes to the ring, I don't want them to like stab him in the side like in Gladiator so he's injured. I want peak physical fitness. You know, Rocky at his prime going against the Shah of Iran's Iron Sheik, his tank. It's basically the embodiments of both nations. Whose willpower is stronger? Mentally, physically? And so I already came out with a short that had, oh man, Grok AI just, I'm impressed. Like, it is hilarious. Like, I just see Rocky going against all these turbaned tanks. And it's like I synced it with some Rocky music, of course from Rocky IV. Oh my god, the best video I've ever made, by far. I can't stop watching it myself. I'm like, that's fucking good. I wish this was a real fucking movie. Oh, man, so they have to fight. Let's say there has to be something deceitful done to Rocky. no, Muslim terrorists like to have, they like to hold something over you. Like maybe before he goes in the fight, he sees that the guards like, have a good fight, champ. And he throws down an envelope and he looks in it and it's photos of Adrian and his kids. So the Shah of Iran has terrorist cells over in America watching his family. Oh, so they're in his head now. They're mentally in his head. And Rocky's just like, not only does he have to win the fight, after he wins a fight, they promise that he would get give a press conference to the worldwide media. He then has to win, not only to save the lives of the people at the embassy and his own, but also he has to give warning to Adrian and his family, to Paulie, because everyone's watching it together. They're all in the photos. He has to give warning to them that they're in danger. God damn, this is topping my Home Alone 3 Kevin goes to jail premises, because this is like, I've thought about this, like what would a Rocky sequel look like? Well, wouldn't he be like conquering or challenging? Oh, it'd be like a Chinese boxer, it'd be Indian, it'd be African. But it's not as simple as just having a strong fighter. It's got to be a strong and intimidating nation. So it can't just be the fucking Congo, Swaziland. It's got to be a nation that can write the checks that this boxer is cashing. So he just barely wins a fight. You know, like it could be another Make It Rhyme with Rocky 2. Like they both knock like it's a fight to this guy is just like iron sheet, trading blows. Filmed in the same style as Rocky 4. And they both go down. And the Iranians cheat because Rocky's down when he starts to get up. And then 3 or 4 Iranians run in the ring and they, with guns, jump on top of Rocky to keep him down so he loses. And the other guy is starting to get up on his own. No one's holding him down. And then Rocky sees this and he's just like, because previously he trained with people on his back. He ran up an entire mountain. And he stands up and there's like 3 guards on his back. And then they fly off. This is like biblical, bro. And then like the music starts going, and then like the Shah of Iran stands up and he's like, no, you lose. Rocky lose. And then the politician that was giving all this press conferences, he pulls out a gun and he's like, no, we're done. You lose. And it's a coup. A coup is happening right in the ring. And they're like, the Shah of Iran goes down, he falls. Because they all saw the American inner can-do attitude and strength and the better religion, Christianity. They see it in Rocky. And their inferior Muslim religion just can't handle it. And so they have a coup and they take down Rocky, breaks the Shah of Iran. He deposes him and brings America and Iran closer with a fucking fight. Woo! And so then Rocky goes on the camera and he's like, Adrian, Paulie, you're in danger. And we have some scene where like the military, the CIA, they're also watching Rocky's family to protect them. The CIA are good in this movie. I know most of the time they kill JFK and they're pieces of shit, but in this movie they're good. And so there's like a gunfight. Like this Iranian terrorist has a knife to kill Adrian, and the CIA guy he was undercover. You didn't know, but let's say it's not gonna be Paulie who was undercover. That'd be hilarious. It was make a Paulie. Paulie pulls out a gun, bam, and then like Adrian's like, I didn't know you have a gun. And he's like, I've been CIA for 20 years. It doesn't have to be Paulie, but some well-known character that kind of was, he was watching the family to protect him. Or they could be Apollo Creed's. No, they're still children. And so then Rocky gives a speech, you know, like, if you could change, you know, it'd be like, you know, then he holds up a Bible, like in my video I made. Or somebody hands him a Bible, and he's like, Mark chapter 7, like basically baptizes the entire heathen nation of Iran. But, poof, fuck, man, seriously. And that's the end of the movie. That's my Rocky. This is my longest video. No one's watching it at this point. But I just want to get these ideas out there. So Rocky 5. And they never have like a subtitle to these movies. The true Rocky 5. Man, seriously though. This is just therapeutic for me. these movie ideas I have. I can't do or write my own stories for the life of me, but I'm an idea man. Like if I was a doctor, I'd be like, I can't perform this surgery, but it looks like you need another heart. Oh fuck! All right, that movie idea took a lot out of me. All right, anyways, like and share to the 1 or 2 people that watch this because it helps me out. Thanks.